You have to recognize your what and your why, right? And we've mentioned this all the way from season 1. We've talked about our purpose, our why, as far as, defining all of these wonderful different things. What is home to us, right? And so it really boils down to these questions, what exactly are you doing this? And why are you doing this? Because if you cannot answer those questions confidently, you're not walking into everything that you're going through the way that it should be intended. And even if you are, that belief is not going to get you very far, because it might be on this bias that either you're doing everything right or you're doing everything completely wrong, and you're going to continue to keep doubting yourself. So I think that's one of the things that I was just thinking of. But you had a question that you wanted to...
Yeah, I mean, so to paint the picture rather than just kind of talk about it as an idea, I'm curious if you can walk us through that idea. Like, what made you, for instance, decide to, and this is, I think, part of like the story that I think is really interesting too. I'm curious to hear your side of it, is like, what made you want to, for instance, like not move home and stay out here as a college, as like a post-grad life? Because most, like, over 90% of people will move back home, will do that because it's I mean, the financially reasonable thing to do, right? And I don't blame that.
That's a really
choice.
big thing, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what, that's kind of like the next step. That's almost maybe the most, the road most traveled. But what made you take that, the road least traveled, the one that most people don't take?
Yeah.
What is it that made you choose that? Because obviously, I don't think you got that necessarily like through confirmation bias, because most people around you weren't doing that.
No, absolutely not.
So walk me through that.
From what I know,
how did you come to that decision?
So how I came to that decision.